Okay, so in this video, we'll be creating this color palette on the right. So let's go to the code. Okay, in the HTML, let's create a table with an ID of colorpicker. In this table, we want to create TR and TD tags with JavaScript. So let's go to the JavaScript. Okay, we have an array called colors, and it is an array of hexadecimal numbers. We are going to create a table cell for each of these hexadecimal numbers, and then we're going to use these hexadecimal numbers to style those table cells with the colors. So below the array called colors, let's create a variable called length and set it equal to the length of the array called colors. Now let's create a for loop. For I is 0, semicolon, till I is less than length, semicolon, I plus plus. Now, inside the curly braces is where we're going to perform our action, and we're going to do it for each of our colors in our array. First, let's log I and then colors I to see what we get. Let's also log our variable we called length. Now let's save it, go to the browser and refresh. The length is 24. Its index starts at 0 and increments up 1, 2, 3. And it goes all the way to 223. That's the length minus 1. So I, for the last index of our array, is 223. But I is 0 for the first index of our array. When I equals 0, we want to create an opening TR tag and an opening closing TD tag with a style of background set to hashtag plus the color I. Then for the last cell, when I equals 223, we want another table cell with an opening and closing TD tag, but this time we only want a closing TR tag, and that will complete our table. So now let's go back to the JavaScript and let's get rid of these console.logs. And right here, let's create another variable. We'll call it colorpicker. We'll set it equal to the HTML element we called colorpicker. Now inside the for loop, we are going to add to the colorpicker with a plus equal sign. In double quotes, we are going to add an opening TR tag, opening and closing TD tags, and then a closing TD tag. Now let's get the element with an ID of colorpicker and set its HTML to the colorpicker variable we just created. Now, if we go back to inspect element, we can see that we have created an opening TR tag and an opening and closing TD tag. But we also have a closing TR tag for each of our indices in the array. We don't want that. In the next video, we will write some logic that will create rows with 16 TD tags in each row. For now, let's give these TD tags some attributes. So back in the JavaScript, right here inside the for loop, in the TD tag, let's give the TD tag a style. It's going to be equal to, now we need single quotes here because we use double quotes at the beginning and at the end. The reason why I use double quotes to begin the string is because inside the string we're going to add attributes that we need to wrap around quotes. So inside the string we're going to use single quotes. So let's give this style a background of a color red. F00 is red. Okay, let's save it and look at it in the browser. Now you see all these little red dots? Those are actually table cells. We need to give these table cells some dimensions. So, back to the code. And in the CSS, let's give the TD tags a width and height of 10 pixels. Okay, let's save it, go back to the browser, refresh, and now we have a red TD tag for each of the hexadecimal numbers in our array. Now let's use the hexadecimal numbers in our colors array to give each TD tag a unique color background. So back to the JavaScript. Let's remove that F00, which is the red color, and replace it with an opening and closing double quote, and inside those quote marks, 2 plus signs. By inserting those 2 double quotes, we broke this string up into 2 distinct strings, this one and this one. The 2 plus signs will allow us to add or concatenate a variable to the string and then add or concatenate that variable to the second string. So if we insert colors brackets I inside the plus signs, we will get a unique background color for each TD tag in the table. So let's save. So now we have a table with table cells for each of our hexadecimal numbers, and we have added the hashtag to create background colors for those table cells. But we have a table row or TR tag for each of our table cells or TD tags. So we only have 1 column. Now in our final project, we have 16 columns. So what we need is some logic that will create an opening TR tag and an opening and closing TD tag for the first index, which is 0, and then for every index that is evenly divisible by 16, the number of columns we want in our table. And then we want again an opening and closing TD tag along with a closing TR tag on the 16th index when I equals 15, or when I plus 1 is evenly divisible by 16. We will develop this logic in the next video using modular division. For now, let's reposition this single column color picker table. So in the CSS, let's give the table with an ID color picker an absolute position and top of 15%. Okay, let's save that and look at it in the browser. In the next video, we will finish with this color palette and then move on.